sharing you through my
Yeah, that's why I was like, we're not getting.
There we go. All right. This is take 2 of Thursday Night Social on Udicci.TV. For those of you who tuned in just a minute ago, thank you and welcome back. So anyways, tonight we are going to try a couple new things. The first of which is a segment that I call Soapbox. Tonight, the title of Soapbox is Tell It Like It Is. Often it seems as though people do not like to hear the truth. In our world, it seems that truth is becoming relative, that truth is subjective and not objective. Perhaps that is a result of mass media. And now even exasperated by social media, yet I believe that media is not really the problem. It's simply a reflection of society. I believe the problem is that we are now largely a self-oriented society. That is to say that our culture is breeding selfishness and self-righteousness. Now let's consider an obvious example of this. The word selfie. The word selfie has actually made it into our dictionary and our everyday vocabulary. A quick Google search of the word selfie returns news stories, web articles, even the science and history of selfie. Who knew that Robert Cornelius took the first selfie in October of 1839? But what troubles me most about selfie is it's largely that our youth are photographing their bodies, often minimally clothed, as if their value is being found in their physical appearance and as objects of sexuality. And I'm sorry if that offends you. As I said, sometimes people do not like to hear the truth. But who am I to proclaim what is truth or that our world is selfish? And I am just another product of the machine that teaches I matter. Or perhaps it is too abundantly apparently to me to hear that. And indeed, there is nothing wrong with believing that you matter, for surely you do. Your friends and your family love you dearly. You are priceless. And actually, what value is humanity if we don't cherish human life? However, today it seems that the phrase has become I matter most. As our society has sought to celebrate individuality, the value of the collective has become diminished. We are divided by race, gender, income, and faith. Sadly, we find our individual strength in these divisions, and we cannot allow this to continue. As Abraham Lincoln once said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. We need unity. Indeed, our differences do make us stronger, but not when we allow them to divide. Should it be that our diversity be that which hinders humanity? To demand that one person accept the choices of another is, well, quite simply hypocrisy. If I can make a choice for my own life, then is not the same true for you? Do you not get the choice to make yours in your own life? And now I have been taught that differing weights and measures, that the Lord detests them both. Or perhaps more clearly, for the same way you judge is that which you will be judged. Most simply, we've learned it as the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yet in today's society, we more often hear this as being twisted, as if to say, do unto others as they have done unto you. As if we are somehow justified in treating people poorly because we simply perceived that they acted poorly toward us. But where is our compassion? May it be that that person that angered you today has suffered a grievous loss. Could it be that they are hurting so much that they were actually looking for a friend, but you felt bothered that they wanted your time and your attention? Is it possible that your time is actually no more valuable than theirs? And can we be quite honest? Who among us is perfect or even innocent? Are you good? Are you a good person because you go to work each day and care for your family and don't cheat on your wife? Know this. There are people today who went to work to care for those who couldn't care for themselves. And they went home to dinner tonight. And tonight, after dinner, they are out giving blankets to those in the cold, the homeless that are on the streets. Now, does this make them better than you? By no means. And what of innocence? By what do you measure your innocence? Have you committed no crime? Have you paid all of your taxes? Never told a lie, not even a small one? Never been paid for 1 minute more than you actually worked? Are you innocent by your own standard? Then what shall we say about the innocent children who are dying on our streets and in countries around the world and in our country right here at home? And what of the children being sold into child sexual slavery? Can we call ourselves innocent while such hopelessness and evil exists in our world when we have the capacity to help and do nothing? Can we sincerely claim innocence when we do nothing as innocence is taken from another? I do not ask all of this as if to offend. It is not my intent to offend anybody. In fact, as I consider these questions, I too am convicted. But I hope to offer this as a perspective and to provoke action. Indeed, truth is not what you make it, and truth is not subjective. By its very nature, truth is truth. It does not change. No, I do not claim to know all of the truths in the world, and instead I offer this as a starting point, a point from which we can all begin to listen and to seek understanding. For only when we value the greater good over the individual opinion will we become the people we need to become to see the change that we want to see. And with that, thank you. Let me step down off my soapbox and welcome Tim to the Udicci.TV set in the underground of BLU Bar Grill. All right. So, our first new segment called Soapbox. What do you guys think?
You didn't end on time.
I didn't end on time. I am 1 minute behind. Wait, when was I supposed to end? Ooh, wow, I'm way off. Oh, wait a second. We had to restart. We had to take two.
Yeah,
So I don't technically know how long this was.
Who knows?
I have no idea.
It's all right.
All right, so for those of you who are really just tuning in for the first time tonight, this is Udicci.TV. This is Thursday Night Social. We are in the underground at BLU Bar Grill. We are here every Thursday night streaming live. We want to thank you for joining us tonight, and we want to thank our sponsors, Lexington Federal Credit Union, who is really dedicated to helping our community grow by bringing people together to form a stronger community, both financially and through our family structure as citizens. So with that, you're going to see that our show is all about economic development. You're going to find out that we are about community building, featuring local artists, musicians. Tonight, we're going to go through that. So, yeah, let us introduce our show for the night. What do you got to say, man?
No, you're doing good.
All right, good.
Yeah, you're on a roll.
So for those of you, again, just joining in, Mike is behind the camera. I don't know if Mike's going to go ahead and switch over there and introduce himself. And you are welcome to have some, to come and join us live and in person. We have a studio audience here tonight for the first time, which is really kind of exciting. And if you are just tuning in tonight...
You can see some behind me.
What's that? Oh, hey, that's my daughter, her friend. Say hi.
Video bombing.
Those video bomb. Live stream video bombing on Udicci.TV by my daughter. Yes, she just did a selfie. Anyways, if this is your first time tuning in tonight, you've selected a great episode to join us with. Tonight, we're going to introduce our first major market. Udicci is a social media company, and we are on a mission to prove the possibility of repurposing capitalism for the good of humanity over profit. Now, we're focused on economic development, as we said earlier today, and beginning with the individual, then our families, and our businesses in the community. And this is TV. This is Udicci.TV. This is where we like to promote good. So if you have something that you would like to say, if you have a message you're trying to get out to Rochester, please feel free to join us and join us on tonight's show. You want to introduce someone to tonight's show?
Okay. Tonight we've got Julie Coleman coming in to present some of her art, talk about the background. We're going to be talking about the Udicci Audacious goal, which begins tonight with understanding. And I'm going to be doing an interview with a guy named James Moot Reeves, who is a former Rochester Razor Shark.
You're going to want to watch that. I just met him. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Like, you don't want to make him mad type guy, right?
He's the kind of guy that breaks backwards.
But he's got a great smile, so he's all good. I think he's pretty harmless.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we got in the lineup.
All right.
For at the moment.
Well, we're at the moment. Then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about take one for Rohama. For those of you who don't know about Rohama, maybe we'll even throw in a little bit about the zebra crossings.
Yeah.
We've got 15 minutes. We thought we were going to have a special guest host tonight, but thanks to the weather, we've got our regular hosts tonight. We've got Julio and Ricardo.
We're thankful.
They're here
Julio's not.
right now. We're good here. Then I think we're going to have Zach Galifianakis and President Obama are going to join us for a little while tonight. That should be, they're on their way? Fantastic.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, and as you said, we're going to be talking about that audacious goal.
Yes, and then at the end of the night, the Pennies are going to be playing on stage here at Blue, at the Underground of Blue.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first time that we're actually going to attempt to transition from a live show to a live show. I know it doesn't make sense, but we actually have to do a little bit of work behind the scenes. So let's see how that kind of works tonight. Sure. So at this time, you want to go over and get your friend?
Sure.
And Julie, you can bring her over, and she and I can sit here and talk. So coming to our stage shortly. Let me grab a little bit of We've got Julie Coleman, who is a local artist, and here, have a seat.
Make yourself comfortable here?
Absolutely. Now you probably saw some of the. Oh, you moved it over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a
so
little bit
can grab
nervous.
it, so
I was a
that's
little
all
bit
right. No,
nervous
I
about
didn't get
that.
lost.
All right. So, Julie, I thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, it's really fun for us to kind of start inviting people from the community that are doing different things in the area. And tonight, Julie's with us. Now, Julie, let's see, a little from your website, your little bio. I see that you're from you went to school in Oswego.
Yes.
And it's pretty cold up there.
Very cold.
No,
But it's pretty cold here right today. Too,
Yeah, it is a little cold up there. But you actually studied print design?
Printmaking, yes. And I actually transferred to Oswego into my junior year. I went there, and I was studying printmaking, and my professor introduced me to papermaking. And at the time, I'm like, oh, I can put my prints, I'll do my lithographies or my printmaking onto the paper. But then I noticed it kind of had a great texture, and I'm a textural person. I love when I'm in a clothing store, I'm always touching the fabric. So I that part of me enjoyed doing that with papermaking, because I don't know, do you know anything about papermaking?
No, but I know about texture, and it is interesting how often, because my wife is a graphic designer, used to always talk about bringing out texture and things, and literally you do have the texture here. I would like to come back to that for a little bit more, because I want to come back and talk about your sense of style in a little bit, and I think that begins to touch on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So tell me about, what about I guess bringing it to life, or bringing that texture out. What was that for you? Was that a piece that was the inspiration?
Well, I actually like the feel of wet pulp. And pulp is the stuff that is basically cotton. It's all ground up. And I stick my hands in it, and I just like the way it feels. And when I make a paper making piece, I pour it onto a screen. And it's such a wild media, because you can kind of predict what it's going to do, but there's sometimes unpredictable things happen, and you got to go with literally the flow, because you're pouring onto a screen. And what I do is, just like in this piece, I started out with a base piece of paper.
Yep.
It was just white, and I decided that what would happen if I just took, I hand dye all my pulp. What if I took some of the black and just poured it on there, and I started doing different circles, and then I was letting it bleed, and I noticed that it was almost like an owl in the background.
Oh yeah.
And it started to speak to me, and that's what happens with a lot of my paper making pieces. They speak to me, and some of them they speak right away, and some of them I have to look at and go, Not talking too
What's
loudly
it trying
like
to
that.
say?
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
speak up a little bit on that one? That'd be
and
great.
Oftentimes those pieces go into a drawer for a little while.
Okay.
But then some of them, like this one, was like, I really like birds, and I think it's the influence of, I work in a library, and the librarian I work with is a huge birder, and she's always telling me where she goes and the area she goes to and what type of birds, and I'm like, yeah, birds are really cool when you think about it. And I really like crows because they're so intelligent, you know.
Okay.
And I almost think that they're like my spirit totem. It's like I have a connection to them, and perhaps it's because there's about 5 crows that live in the tree behind my studio.
Okay.
So I look at those and I said, why don't I do a piece on crows? So this is how I started creating this one. And I first started just pouring the pulp on and adding the branches, and crows are dark birds, so I started putting crows in the background, and then I'm like, okay, now I've got to challenge myself to make a paper making piece and have the crow look like a crow. And the media is, it's not like painting where you take a brush and you can work into it. You are taking pieces of cotton and you're putting it on a screen, and like just the eyes, as my daughter calls it, as I'm bending over a screen, am I going, oh, my back? She's like, oh, yeah, Mom, you're doing self-inflicted torture, because I'm just taking little pieces. I take skewers and I pick up just a little piece of pulp and I put it on a spot. And
Wow.
On some of my pieces, they have 50, 60 different colors in them. And this crow, I just decided to do black and white. And just the eyes, you're taking little bits and pieces of white pulp and you're putting it on there, very small amounts.
So a piece of art like this, how long is this going to take you to make if you're that tedious of a process?
It takes several weeks. Some of them are a little bit faster, only because it's paper making and paper dries. Like this one, I had to re-wet constantly because I was adding things to it. But pieces where I'm layering like this, I will try to do a little bit quicker, but I may do the birds separately and then add it to the piece.
So you actually make the birds
on another screen.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I make the birds on another screen and then I layer them onto the base paper.
That's very cool. Now you have another one down here?
Yes, this is another bird.
Do you want to
Yep, we'll switch
this
here.
over here?
I'm in a bird phase in my life, definitely. And then
we'll switch.
Okay, I was joking with my husband and my son as we were putting the shows together. I'm like, all my birds look to the left. And I just couldn't quite figure out why. And I was thinking, well, my husband's like, go west, young lady, go west. We're doing all the philosophical. And my son's like, you're left-handed. That's where your birds all go to your left. I'm like, okay,
Hey, sometimes philosophy is that which is most simple, right?
Yes, exactly.
So this is a hummingbird,
Yes,
and
it's a hummingbird, yeah.
and the number of colors you have in here is, considerable, even by comparison. As I'm up close, you can certainly see you've got a number. The spectrum on here is incredible.
If you would go into my studio, you would see a table that has probably 50 different dyed pulps. And I start out with the base colors, the primary colors and the secondary colors, and then I just constantly are mixing them together. And then if I have a red, I'm like, okay, what if I have the blue? And I just keep adding and adding until I get to the desired color that I want. And then like the flowers in this here, I did on a smaller screen, and then I applied them to the paste. So this is like a collage.
Does the pulp adhere to one another, or do you have to use any other?
If it's wet.
Okay.
You can stick wet and wet together.
Okay.
If the background's dry, then sometimes I take a little bit of glue and glue it on. So, and this bird, the hummingbird, I actually made on a separate piece.
So now you mentioned some shows. Where can people who want to see your art, where can they see this?
I'm constructing a website right now.
Okay.
And right now I'm just trying to find different areas to show my artwork. I had been on a little bit of a hiatus because I've been a mom, and with the kids that are really, very busy when you're with kids. And I just decided that now's the time. My daughter went off to college, my son's in 9th grade, so I'm not needed quite as much as I used to be. And I've decided, once my husband told me about this, I'm like, I wanted to call the show originally like Time, and I'm like, because I'm ready to display my artwork. I've accumulated a lot of pieces, and I'm just ready in my life. I'm happy with where I'm at, and hopefully I'll be going to different areas to try to promote my artwork in different local galleries.
So with the work that we do at Lexington Federal Credit Union, one of the big things we always talk with our clients about and trying to get people in the market to do is set a goal. Do you have a goal that when you're going to be out and do your first show for this year?
I actually have a couple places that are on the list. And I'm hoping to meet with the people within the next couple months and have an area to display artwork.
All right, so when you get that scheduled, can we have you back on the show so you can tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I would love to come back.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I know you're going to be here for a little bit longer if anybody wants to see it, and certainly welcome back whenever you can.
Okay, thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you. Alrighty, now just give us a second to change out our background here. And everything okay behind the...
Yeah, we were experiencing a little buzz.
A little buzz. Do you think it was a little buzz in the screen?
That's what I got. That's him.
You got a little buzz?
I got a little buzz is going to be him.
I figured as much, so we're kind of good there. All right, whoops, I dropped our switcher, clicker, changer, social media at its best, right? I mean, one of these days we're going to have a real live production studio with real live people doing all these set changes and whatnot. Yeah, she's going to keep this here until we get into our next segment, and hopefully Joe should be coming down here shortly. But our next segment's really going to be talking about what it's called Take One. Take One is it's a program. It's a social media program. It's a marketing program. It's a community development program. It's a little of everything, and we want to kind of introduce you to Take One tonight. And what it is, Take One promises to make a difference in life. And what we're trying to do is help people to understand what Take One is all about. Now, Take One, if I were to go through, Take One is a social program that, like I said, says to make a difference in life. And it is a step-by-step process that we have an online program that's available to individuals that, basically has them set goals. And when they, set the goals, create plans. There's a whole thing looking at habits, because what we know is that the results that we have in our lives are really because of the choices that we've made. And that's a big reason why we're starting to look at those, choices as we began the monologue in the beginning. But we know that those choices, or the results that we have, are have a direct correlation to the choices that we've made. And if you don't believe me, just check out Julio's Facebook page today. That's exactly what he posted. What we're trying to make sure that people can do is, if they want to make a change in their life, we want them to understand why it is that they made those choices that they did. Much of that has to do with those experiences that we had in life and the culture that you were brought up into, those things that you were taught and those things that you believe would give you the results that you wanted. And while many of the things that experience has taught us, what we have learned is that not everything we learned is actually correct. So Take One is a program that uses like a social technology to connect people with one another, encourage one another to kind of make a change in their lives. It is a program that Udicci developed for credit unions, and our primary credit union, we're going to be talking about a little bit more about credit unions in just a little bit, but we developed it with credit unions. And here in Rochester, New York, Lexington Federal Credit Union is actually sponsoring the Take One program. And you're going to hear a lot more about the Take One program. As I said, it's a charity type event where, as we know that people, one of the first changes they want to make in life is to oftentimes get out of debt, get control of their finances. So part of the Take One program is another program that we call Feel Free of Debt. And we work in conjunction with Lexington Federal Credit Union to help people reduce the cost of their debt and, to bring it down. Now, they're a nonprofit organization, as are most credit unions, and that's one of the reasons that we're going after this. Now, we have a big mission in life. We have a big goal in life. And for us, when we think about financial institutions and the role that they play in our community, it's vital. It's an absolutely vital piece to play, and that's one of the reasons that we choose to work kind of with nonprofits. Because nonprofit organizations care more about, if you will, their members that they serve than perhaps the shareholders who have invested. And that's not to say that, market-driven economies are bad, because we are capitalists. But credit unions are owned by the members. So the members actually get to vote who it is that runs their organizations and vote for those who do what is best for not only their own personal finances, but also for the finances in our community and for the good of our community. Again, Lexington Federal Credit Union is who we've been working with for quite a few years. Lexington's been in Rochester for about 50 years. They actually got started from the GM plant, right? Is what it was on Lexington. So there's your Lexington and Mount Reed that's been down there, and we've been working with Lexington now for about 3 years on this program, and we're just now rolling it out this year. It was about 2 years ago, about 18 months, 2 years ago, that Lexington actually decided as an organization to really begin growing, and they wanted to grow in a way that was different and unique than every other organization or every other credit union in town. They didn't want to just be another bank. They wanted to be an organization that actually made an impact in our community. So again, beginning about 2 years ago, we set out on a new course, created some new marketing plans, and this past year, which we celebrated the opening of a brand new branch on Joseph Avenue. That was very exciting for us because we believe that to really begin a change, we've got to get down into where the people are really hurting. So we've got a branch over on Joseph Avenue right now. We want to begin with working with people in that area of the woods. We want to work with people all around Monroe County, and however we can. Their brand, their motto is "Together we grow," and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to grow with those into our community. So that's just a little bit about Take One. You'll find more about that coming up as we get into more detail. We're going to talk about Take One for Hema in just a little bit, and then you'll understand how that plays into our big, audacious goal at the end of things. So anyways, I just had to do that quick introduction, and I see Mike back there huddling, plodding along, and I'm waiting for Joe to show up here. But what are your thoughts on Take One?
Okay. That's not part of the slide. No.
Yeah, that's not part of the slide, not at all.
No, actually, I was sharing with Chuck last week about our work with Rahema Home and Take One and the Audacious Goal, and how we're helping them to actually raise money to start building orphanages in Africa. So it kind of plays into what we'll be discussing later as well.
It absolutely does. And I see Mike behind the camera furiously poking away at his phone, and I'm thinking, like, I should probably give you the vocal cue that says, "Get ready to play some music." I think you should be queuing up David Miller here. So, and just
I need to go help him.
All right, I
just posted to Facebook that we are live
okay. Well, thank you.
because we had 1,000 viewers.
1,000 viewers. Okay. I wonder what happened with that tonight. Okay, well, that's okay. You guys posting? You guys ready to come on? You're going to be up here shortly. I'm waiting for Joe to come down here. Doesn't look like he's going to be down here for his 8 o'clock segment, so we'll do the little shout out that we need to do. Basically, we are down here at the underground of BLU Bar and Grill, and BLU Bar and Grill is kind of the new venue in town for everything that's kind of cool. For those of you who've been here in the past, we'd ask you to give them another chance. They've been doing quite a bit of work and renovating the entire downstairs, a really cool bar down here at the bottom where actually we produce social media throughout the day. We're going to be doing a number of other shows coming up. You're going to hear about Amanda Ashley. She's actually putting together a show called Afternoon Cocktail, where she's going to be bringing in artists and musicians and talking about community events, what's going on in their world, with a slant toward how to build your business if you are an artist or if you're in crafts. And with that, I'm still looking behind the talk to you a little bit about David Campbell.
When you do that.
What's that? All right. Are we back? We okay? No, not yet. What are you gonna run this? Because you're supposed to do the social shout out, but I'll do the social shout out. All right. So much for me trying to be the director from behind the camera. So here it is. So far, tonight's not been as smooth as we'd like it to be. But if you're okay with imperfection, so are we. And we'd like to ask you to do us a favor. Go out on Facebook and like Udicci. Just kind of get, again, this is us just learning and moving stuff together, and there's a lot more to come tonight. In fact, our show really doesn't begin till 8 o'clock. So we'd actually like you to go out, like Facebook out there, maybe follow our live stream event, and if you really like others, tell others about it, because we need to start building up the number of live viewers, but not for anything. We had a great number of views throughout the past few weeks. So with that, there's one more thing very exciting. For those of you who've ever heard of the Campbell Brothers, they're a band that, or a couple of brothers, whatnot, musicians that have played really all around the world. Shared the stage with some amazing artists, Joe Bonamassa, come on guys, help me with this, Johnny Lang, Jesse Trucks. So they're phenomenal musicians. For those of you familiar with Robert Randolph credits them with teaching him the slide guitar and inspiring him to do the slide guitar. And why we're bringing all of this up is that they've joined talents with a local musician called Dave Miller. And Dave is actually, with the Campbell Brothers, going to begin doing some residency sessions down here at the underground BLU Bar and Grill. They're going to be down here every other Tuesday, beginning here in a couple weeks, up until their CD release party. They're doing the same kind of thing up in Buffalo, so we're very honored to have them. and we're going to go ahead and play the video right here about them going to these residency sessions, and go ahead and put that on. Well, the residency session is going to be the one that that they're showing. This is just a little bit of a clip as to what is going on out there. Okay. All right. Once again, a little technical difficulties. And hey, you know, the great thing is we actually asked Dave Miller if we could actually experiment on theirs, because this was a new feature we were trying to do tonight, and that was to embed some audio and video from other sources outside of what we were creating here. So while they're working on that, I'm just going to pretend like it's me doing it, right? When somebody come help me up here, it's like we're dying. Can you guys get this thing going or what? We can hear it. You got the audio?
I'm just going to fade to picture of video.
All right, that works for me as long as you've got the audio. Yep. All right. So you're good there. Getting that coming down. We do take one for a humma. After take one for a humma, where is my 15 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Come on up.
They say superstars. They know what you're talking about, y'all. There's a superstar Luda all up in
Hey,
Come on, man. That's a good
you
job.
too. Hey, let's pull those chairs
Yeah,
out here.
I know, man.
Come on in.
Nah. Let's do that. You might as well get in the middle, make it presentable, right?
You get it all?
Larry Long.
There.
NLB.
Hey, how's it going?
Right, good.
Okay. Nice. Everybody said. Where we at, Mike? We're good? You have to kind of speak up a little bit for the speakers, but I don't think we're gonna have too much of an issue. So. All right, we're ready? We're ready. All right. I'm here with James Mook Reeves, from former Rochester Razor Shark player, Damon, and I just met
Larry Long.
Larry Long. Okay. They are running the Reeves Stewart Basketball Alliance out of Rochester right now, and I want to let them kind of tell a little bit about the program, and then we'll talk about the fundraiser you guys are doing for for this upcoming year. So why don't whoever wants to speak, go for it. Tell a little bit about the program.
Well, RSBA, which is the Reeves Store Basketball Alliances, along with NLB, which is Next Level Beyond, are both programs for youth development.
Okay.
Within the inner city and the suburbs, we cater to all kids. Our big focus is to make sure the kids are getting proper training in all sports, can get good academic support, which is needed.
Right.
Also, life skills, mentoring, and just overall making sure they're good citizens. We always hear about the bad things in the community, but this is a positive program along with NLB to make sure our kids are on the right path for success.
Nice. Now, when you're down there at the camp, I mean, you have how many kids do you have on an average week or month? I mean, do you run it in a monthly program or is it a year-long program?
We run weekly programming, Wednesdays and Fridays, 5:30 to 5 to 7 at St. Lawrence, which is in North Greece.
Okay.
Also, we have a Sunday morning program from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay.
We also have basketball camps, which is coming up April 14th through the 17th at Franklin High School.
Okay.
And we average 40 to 50 kids at our camp.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And NLB, your program?
Yes.
Yeah, tell them a little bit more about yours. A little bit different.
Basically the same thing like Mook said. We're here for the kids, whether inner city or suburbs. Me personally, I grew up in Greece. I went to Greece Olympia, but I do understand and know now coming back the diversity of when I went to school there. You know what I mean? So it's important that we give back to these kids, and that's why we're here.
Sure. Okay. And what are the ranges of the age ranges of the kids that you guys are working with?
We go, the age range for our group is from 6 to 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we kind of focus on everything now. We got females and young men. And we try to make sure that they get all the fundamentals they can grasp from us. Because people gotta understand this, we're not just people just talk about it, we lived it.
Sure.
Like James Reeves, he played overseas and
Right.
stuff like that. Larry Long, he played football in college and overseas too. See, people don't understand that. We got the whole background.
Right.
So it's okay you talk to a high school coach like, yeah, I played in such and such school. No, you got people that played at the highest level.
Right.
To
Right.
teach your kids. And another thing about us, we are good people. We take care of our kids. We are family men. We go to work every day.
Fantastic.
It's something that we love to do, so we're passionate about it.
Great. Great. So, what is so I'll ask a little bit more of a personal question. What is your favorite part of the program? Running the program.
For me, it's working with the kids. My son is in the program. Both of my boys. All three of my boys actually. They all play basketball. They have no choice.
They're kind of destined for that, right?
Yeah, but they're in the program, just working with the kids and seeing the progress. The progression, not just on a basketball level, but just growing and working with each other, supporting each other, and that's what it takes to become a good citizen. Not only worrying about yourself, but supporting your community.
Sure.
Your friends and your family.
Right, and you're doing it in a Rochester background,
Exactly.
right, which is good.
Right in the
there's
backyard.
a lot of right in the backyard, which is a good thing. So now I noticed, and how I actually ended up connecting with you is because you're running a fundraiser, and you guys are looking to build or buy a building of some sort. So why don't you explain what you're going for and a little bit about that?
Currently, we're using St. Lawrence Gym and the YMCA, and much thanks to them, But with our programming and the kids we serve, we're limited to what we can do.
Okay.
So currently, we're trying to build funds to get our own facility. That way we can provide all the academic services, the football training, the basketball training, and have camps and leagues right in our own city.
Okay. Now, are you looking for downtown Rochester? That's kind of where you want to really focus your efforts and buy a building in that area. Are you looking for a new building? You looking to kind of go something that's already there? And how much money are you guys looking to raise to kind of get you there?
Actually, to be honest with you, we're looking for a place to call home.
There you
no
go.
matter if it's in the city or in the suburbs.
Okay.
We just need a place to call home and that we can really utilize to run our programming.
Okay.
As far as funding, with a combination of our own personal funding, our sponsors such as WCI Properties,
Jay Wegmans.
Jay
Okay.
Webber, yep, good guy, a great real estate program. They'll help us with the process.
Okay.
We're thinking a building maybe costs $300,000 to maybe $1 million.
Right.
But whatever we can get, we will utilize to make sure we can benefit these kids.
Sure, sure. So now you had brought in some vouchers for us, and you'll be finding out more about how we can, how you might be able to take advantage of those vouchers in the near future. We're probably going to be running that through with Lexington and a couple of other opportunities, and we'll definitely be working a lot more with you and really kind of talking to you more to learn more about the program, how things are going. And for right now, how do you want people to get a hold of you? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you and to start their kids in the program?
We have plenty of options. You could call us by a cell phone.
Okay.
Okay. We could go to our website.
Okay.
You can contact with us by Facebook.
Okay.
So it's all types of options you get in contact. I don't know if we can show this on camera. I don't know if it's possible they can see it, but
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll make sure that we post all the information right up on Udicci Facebook, and that way people can come out and check it out, and we'll edit this up and make sure that this gets out on Facebook and that we start spreading the word for you guys, and make sure we help you in any way we can. So if there's anything else you guys want to share, we have a not very big audience, but we have a decent audience, and this will be continuously providing more information. So if there's things that you really want to make sure that the public knows, and things that you would really like them to understand about your program, or anything that you want to add, by all means, the clock is yours.
I like the same thing about our program right now. Our program is to see the development of all kids. And we don't care what your background is. We don't care if you're rich or you're poor. We're here to support everybody. And our goal, our main focus is to make sure you get the same opportunities as we got.
Sure.
You know, it's just like I said, a lot of kids don't know the basic things about how important academic is when it comes to sports.
Sure.
I'd rather them know that while they're young. Don't
Right.
wait till you get to a senior in high school. Let's work on that right now, for all of a sudden when you get to your sophomore, junior, and senior year, you understand about what's the SAT score and what I need for my grade point average to go to a Division I school.
Right. First, too late, you can't catch
Too
up.
late. It's too late. A lot of Rochester got plenty of talent. So much talent. It's either two things that happen to them. They go down the wrong way, or they can't get it with their grades.
Makes sense. Yep.
And it's sad. It's
Yeah,
sad to see
very
that.
good.
And it's sad to see that. So it's a waste of talent. And with guys like us who've been through it, you know, I can tell you a quick story. This man right there helped me be successful in life with the game of basketball.
Okay.
His hard work and dedication when he was young, he inspired me. That's a mentor to me.
Fantastic.
That's perfect.
So you guys consider yourselves really at a mentor level right now for these kids, and you know, I know from my stepson, you know, one of the greatest things was with Mook, and he's out there and he jams the ball.
I didn't dunk it. I grabbed the rim.
Which still broke glass.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah. So, but we were sitting courtside, thanks to Oris at that time, and man, I'll tell you what, I've never seen him react that way, and it was the greatest feeling I've ever seen. So, and I know he looks up to you guys, and you know, I appreciate that about the Sharks as well as what you guys are doing right now, because I think that's very, very important. And it was always interesting to me because I watched my stepson as a very bashful kid. And I'll never forget the day where it was MJ and Big Ron, and Big Ron sitting there, and man, he reached down to shake Brian's hand, and I've never seen a kid so scared in my life. By the end of that year, he was up there talking to all these guys, and you know, it's that kind of personality, that kind of ability to work with kids and understand that, you know, hey, we're just people too, and you're just a person. There's no reason we can't work together on this stuff. So, you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I appreciate you guys coming out. Anything you want to add?
Well, what I'll say is, well, for one, thanks, Damon. I appreciate that, and to your credit, you worked hard. You know, me and my brother was just the catalyst to kind of push you along, and then you bought into that, and then you took it yourself. All your hard work paid off of what you was doing, as well as you, Mook. But to piggyback off of what you said, you know, it is important that we go back and give to these kids, because we've been there and we've done that. And as far as what I get out of the program the most is, I'm still involved in going back to my alma mater, which is Greece Olympia. You know, we're known for track now, you know, and it's a humbling thing for me that when I graduated in '91, and I go back there and people still say, you know, I heard about you, or when I talk to these kids and their parents come up to me afterwards and say, I don't know what you said to my son last week, but he's been hitting his books, he's been more respectful at the house, and it's just being that, you know, I don't know, role model, you want to say, being that role model, just being able to come back and instill stuff in the kids like that to go on. And I love that part of it. You know, it really makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing, I'm giving back in the right way, and being around a great group of guys, it really helps. You know, I call these guys my brothers, so.
Sure.
You know.
Yep. Last board?
I mean, I just want everyone to know that we're not trying to accumulate funds for our personal gain.
Okay.
The sponsorships and the fundraising is for the youth. We're asking that you invest in our youth.
Right.
By investing in our youth, you invest in our future.
Right.
Our future, I mean, it's important right now.
Sure.
Right now we're struggling and we need support.
Right.
We can't be doing it on our own. It's going to take a community to do
Sure.
this. We got to pull together.
Well, we're about community development. We're going to be working with Lexington Federal Credit Union, as Chuck said, and we are working with them. And we are in the heart of the city in a lot of different ways. We're working with several charities, and I think that there's definitely some good synergy between what you guys are doing, the direction we're heading, and being able to bring in some of these inner city kids into programs like this is going to make all the difference in the world. So I absolutely think that there's a definite synergy in the way we can work together and what we can do in the future. And our world is your oyster. So hey, you come in and do what you guys want to. If you guys want to spread messages, or if you have additional things, keep us up to date on how the program's going, how the fundraiser's going, and anything like that. So back on the fundraiser for a minute, what is the site that you're using for the fundraiser again?
GoFundMe.
Yep. And just look for Reeve Stewart Basketball Alliance.
Yep.
And they're accepting donations. It's like a it's one of those kind of everybody gives $50 here or $100 there, and I've
give
seen
a dollar.
Yeah, you give a dollar, and I liked your point. If everybody in Rochester gave a dollar, you guys would make all your money in no time. It's too bad we couldn't all get them to get that message out there quicker, right?
Yeah.
So, but Chuck, you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm actually just, you guys are taking the rest of the night. This is exactly what we need. We need more people focused on our youth. I mean, until we can start making some changes and the way they're thinking, the way that they're acting, we're not going to make the changes that we have in our country right now. So no, you guys take all the time you want to get this message out here.
Sure.
Well, I just want to thank you guys for having programs like this for us to be able to come in and, get it out, as far as letting people know what we're doing and teaming up together.
Sure.
I appreciate that. We, on behalf of us, we thank you guys a lot.
And definitely, like we were saying there with Lexington, we got to figure out how to get you guys involved. We got to figure out something to do to really promote this a little bit bigger, because it's right up what we want to do. We want to make a difference in the lives of everybody in our community, but we know that starts with the kids.
Yep.
So, if you guys want to help out, by all means, go out, find them on GoFundMe, and contribute, like you said, $1. If everybody in Rochester did $1, it would be a huge difference. 10, 15, 20, I'm sure they would not sneeze at that one either. So anything that, anything that anybody can do, definitely, by all means, get out there and support these guys. I've known James for quite a few years now, and I met you a while ago. I'm not sure you even remember me, but I was the one that faded into the crowd. So, but I appreciate you guys coming out and taking the time, and hopefully you appreciate the environment that we have here, and we can get us some more audience members in here and start getting more people following us and getting the message out there for you. So.
I will be bringing my wife here. It's a nice location.
Yeah, it is. It
I
really
like
is.
it.
It's classy. I like it. And then hearing about the other things with the jazz and new groups coming in and poetry night and open mic. I mean, again, it starts from that too. Young kids, they only know certain things, but if they see, or as they start to get older, to hang around people that wears collared shirts and dresses up nice or has a blazer on, they kind of look at that and say, okay, I want to kind of emulate that. That's something different. So
absolutely.
It's places like this that kind of get it started. So I like it. I told my man Julio, I'm gonna be coming through here, man. This is nice, brother. Yeah, man. I'm glad I linked back up with you.
Julio's a regular.
Yeah, that's my guy right there. He's a good guy.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the other things too that I think is probably very important to mention is the fact that if we can get you guys interacting with these kids on a more personal level, even out in events like this, or when we get bands in here, if you want to, if we bring some of these kids in there having dinner or having some hors d'oeuvres and just kind of hanging out and listening to the music, and they see the other side of it. It's not just all about work and the motivation and the hard work and the efforts that you have to put in, but it's also about finding time to have fun in life and being able to enjoy it a little bit as well. So, if we do stuff like that, there's definitely some things we could get set up from that.
Just to add on to that, I mean, with our sports, we want to make it fun again. There's so much pressure with sports just to be LeBron James or RG3. It's reaching high.
Yeah.
Basketball or football should be fun.
Oh yeah.
We want our kids to focus on having fun, getting better. And if you don't achieve that goal, you have a backup plan.
Right.
You need a backup plan in life.
Sure. And isn't there like a very small percentage that actually make it past the college level into the professional level?
It's 1%.
1%?
And that's an analogy I use is for my kids as far as football. I take a roll of pennies. 100 pennies is $1. So I take 100 pennies, I spread them out on the floor, and I said, this is everybody right here. And then I slide the 1 penny out and said, this is the percentage out of all the rest of the 99 that make it
Right.
to play professional basketball or professional football,
Sure.
or be a professional and get paid for it. So,
Oh, and even getting scholarships has got to be a small percentage, right?
we just had they give out, I think it is 16,000 scholarships just in the New York area a year. The
That's
whole
it.
state of New York, 16,000 Division I scholarships.
And how many kids are graduating each year?
Exactly, and you know that number is out
that-
there.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah. So, but again, if you're doing the right things as far as getting your schooling, you're above the curve, because you know, even me being a scout and talking to kids, the first thing I say is, how's your grades?
Right.
Because if your grades isn't there, a college is going to come in and say, you know what, he's a great athlete, but now we can't use him because he doesn't have the right grades.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think it's, me personally, my beef is, how do you have a stud on your high school basketball team, football team, soccer team, whatever it is, and this kid doesn't go to school? You have Division I, you have Division II, you got Division III, NIAE schools, junior colleges, prep schools. They should be going somewhere. They should have an opportunity to go somewhere. So I think when we come back, and like I said, we've been there, done that, and we understand it, we take these kids under our wing and we try to get them out there and let them see it. But, it also helps when the parents and, they buy into the system of what we're trying to do too. So
Good. Yeah, you need their support. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest challenges you guys face. This is the support of the parents has to be there. Otherwise, the kids aren't going to be motivated.
It has to be an investment.
At home as well. Yeah.
Investment. I mean, you invest a little time now, especially the way that colleges are going now. Your son or your daughter can say, here's $130,000 for 4 years or 5 years of college because you invested now in your kids. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that's a great investment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a daughter at the University of Ole Miss right now. She's a sophomore, and that's a great investment.
Dad's saying thank you.
Yeah, buddy, that's a great investment. So,
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're good. We're good. All right.
We're good.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for joining us again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, man.
Appreciate
it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Thank
Good
you.
deal.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very
There's a couple more vouchers.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yep.
We'll get them out there.
All right, thank
See
you.
that? Yeah.
Definitely give out. Absolutely. Thank you for coming out.
His name's Chuck.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
meet you, man.
Thank you guys for coming out.
That's fantastic.
All right. So, yeah, go ahead and get your. You want to grab a picture? This is kind of the important one for you, right? There we go. All right, so we're a few minutes off, or a few minutes behind schedule, or a few minutes ahead of schedule, one of the two, but we had the take two on side of this. But now we're going to go in and we're going to talk about take one for Rahema. And one of the actually, we're just going to wait a couple minutes here while we wait for the crowd to clear out, which is kind of nice. It's kind of cool. Drinking our tag. Is that what he goes by? Yeah. We know you're all actually tuning in right now to watch 15 minutes, and they're going to be up here in just a few minutes. Yeah, they're getting everybody riled up behind the things. They're trying to queue up some commercials and some videos and a bunch of these other things. So we know that that's what you're waiting for. That's the fun of the night, but this is the good of the night, and this is what we're all doing down here. So definitely help us get the word out as we're going through here. All right, we're going to get one more.
They're taking pictures.
Taking pictures, which is great. Which they should do. Yeah, this is great. We should be, hopefully the pennies should be showing up here shortly. When they do, Mike, you may have to, we'll worry about that. I'll just hand the show off to Tim. He'll handle everything. They should be here during 15 minutes, and we'll help them set up. This should be a fun time. For those of you who've not heard the Dirty Pennies play, you really should just kind of tune in tonight. This is called practice sessions, and it is exactly what it sounds like. This is their time once a week. They're going to get together, and they're going to practice. But they are some young guys with some phenomenal talent. And no. I said young guy.
You guys know who you look like right now, right?
What's that?
You know who you look like right now, right?
Who?
Alan and Charlie Harper.
Alan and Charlie Harper.
Oh, wow.
What? Do I not know? Wow. All right, we're good with that.
Tag, you're lucky I'm on camera.
Yeah, lucky, that's what it is. All right, well, we want to go ahead and get started on what we call take one for Rahema. Now, this is the second, there's more than the second, but this is another aspect of take one. You see, okay, wait, Mike is doing a little bit of an adjustment over there, and they got, you get them, ask me. All right, so
They're getting ready to head out.
yeah, this is cool. All right, are we good now, Mike? All right, so this is what you get on live internet streaming TV on shoestring budget. That one's for you, Tag. All right, so yeah, we do want to talk about take one for Rahema now, and this is another aspect of take one. As we mentioned earlier, that one of the biggest goals that people have in life right now is to really help get out of debt, or at least kind of reduce the cost of the debt in their life. And okay, I'm being told to smile now. It's easy. It's easy if you could see what's behind the camera, it's easy to laugh. All right. You'll see it in a moment, though. He'll be in front of the camera. But one of the things about Take One, which is really great, is that we actually take 1% of any of the debt that people have, and that they're willing to move to these nonprofit credit unions. And in Rochester, New York, that is Lexington Federal Credit Union. They take 1% of the debt and they donate it to a charity. Now, I know that may not sound like a lot, but you got to understand we're talking about debt. And most people have, what, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in debt. And for every $10,000, that means it's $100 going to a charity. Why this is exciting to us is really quite simply that it's a win-win-win scenario. What basically happens is that people are able to reduce the cost of debt in their life. And what they're actually doing, maybe you have a car right now. Maybe that car has been financed, you bought it used, maybe your credit wasn't fantastic at the time that you bought it. And now what happens is you're able to actually go ahead and refinance that loan with somebody like Lexington Federal Credit Union, reducing the cost of that loan, reducing your payment on a monthly basis, reducing how long it's going to take you to pay that car off. Hey guys, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take it easy. And that's one of the great things about Take One is we actually are here to help reduce your debt. And every time we're able to take for every $100, $1 is going to a charity. And this year, that charity is Rahema Home Orphanages. Now this is very exciting for us because Rahema Home is an orphanage over in Kenya. And they're working on a campaign. It's called the Building Blocks Campaign. And this is very exciting for me when you really allow this to sink in what's going on here. Rahema is actually buying a brick-making machine. And this brick-making machine is they're going to teach some of the kids, the children, who have spent many years in these orphanages and are now of age where they'd really kind of age out of the orphanage, if you will, that they would then have to go out and find a job. And what Rahema is doing is actually going to help them open a business. And they're actually going to open a business which helps them provide income for the orphanage. And it's going to be a job for the kids. And it's a brick-making machine where they're able to actually build bricks and build buildings over in Kenya. So what happens is we're actually working with Rahema this year, and Take One for Rahema is a $10 million campaign. Now we're not looking to raise $10 million. Just keep this straight. We're looking to help people get out of $10 million of debt. We're trying to help people reduce the cost of $10 million in debt here in Rochester, New York. And in doing so, we will raise $100,000, which will buy that machine, which will put the kids over in Kenya to work building over in Kenya, so it'll actually be a profitable, self-sustaining, so that the orphanages no longer have to rely on donations, but they're actually going to be building a business which puts the kids to work, which sustains the orphanage so that they can do more. Rahema actually wants to open 100 orphanages. And when you think about this, just think for one moment what's going on. And this is what we really say. Take one. Take one moment and ask yourself, if there was something that could help yourself, that could help other people, that could help others around the world, is there any reason that you wouldn't be willing to listen? And you see, right now, if we help with this goal, We will not only be helping others in Kenya, but we'll be helping those right here in Rochester, New York. We're actually going to be working on our economic development here in Rochester, New York by helping businesses grow, by helping families reduce debt. And in doing so, reducing the cost of debt, sending money over to these kids around the world. It's a win-win-win scenario. And we're able to do this because we're working with a nonprofit credit union that cares more about people than it does about money. Now, to me, it's straightforward and understandable. But I want to turn this over to Tim for a little while because I got to tell you, I think it was with Take One for Rahema that really started to get Tim excited. And I kind of want to just bring this over and let you talk about that.
Yeah, we were having conversations around the fact that we're starting this campaign this year for Rahema Home, and the fact that we're going to be helping them raise $100,000 through $10 million of lending. And what's really interesting is because of the fact that our belief in our audacious goal is that in order to raise or to hit our audacious goal, we have to fight poverty around the world. And this is kind of our first direct lead into that action. And where we're at right now is, we're at the beginning stages, but it's really kind of an interesting thing for us to, after 3 years of talking and planning and talking and making mistakes and talking and making a lot more mistakes, it's just finally coming, it's all coming into a nice little ball where we're able to really kind of bring it into a fundraising campaign that helps people locally and has a pretty big organization behind it with Rahema as far as the size of the size of the organization and what they want to do. And for me, I think that was kind of one of the things where it's finally starting to sink in. It's like, okay, well, $10 here or $50 a month that I might be giving on different things. Yeah, that helps, but you're not really helping until you start to really hit some of the bigger numbers, and $100,000 really starts to speak into that bigger number that we.
And I love it because it's the $10 makes a huge difference. The $20 makes a huge difference. But it's fantastic when that $10 and $20 is actually being generated by its own business, right, and it becomes self-sustaining, so we're not always relying on other people.
Yeah, and the other side of that is the fact that it's no money out of people's pockets. It's actually putting money back into people's pocket while helping kids in Africa. And every charity you hear all these charities are, well, we're taking all this money in, but I'm using 10% of it to go back towards the actual cause or things like that. Whereas this is, all $100,000 is going to be going towards that brick making machine, which then sets them up to be self-sustaining, and they can go in and start building as many as they need. So
I guess we could sum it up by saying, reduce your debt and make a difference in life.
That works.
That's kind of an easy way of looking at it. So at this point, we are a little bit off schedule, but that's okay. Now we're going to bring up the entertainment of the evening, and it says here that you guys have to be off stage by 8:30. It is now 8:34. That works to our advantage. All right. And with no further
the entertainment and the other guy.
15 minutes with tag.
It's the entertainment and one guy.
Can you cut out to like something else?
Oh, you want to cut out to something else? Okay, we're going to cut out. Hold on a second. All right, are you cut out? Did you cut out to something else? All right, okay, you're going? Getting ready.
I gotta get ready, man. This is live TV, but let me get ready.
Oh, yeah. Cut something else. You want you just want to be on the program. Oh, there you go.
Hey, if you're out there, you're watching this, it's okay. You call me in the shower. Like I'm in the shower right now.
If you want a couple of vouchers to take with you, or if you have some kids who might be interested in that, you're welcome to take a couple of them.
How many kids do you have?
He gave me a whole bunch more.
Okay.
So they're all vouchers.
They're all vouchers?
Yeah, they're for, I think you said for
we gotta be careful. We have to make sure that we have enough for sponsors and stuff too.
Okay. Do they have to be Morrow County?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
County with the kids.
Okay.
But there might be a couple of teachers that I didn't know.
Sure.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we give her the information?
Yeah,
And then let us know, right, that way, I hate to give the actual voucher.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I'll talk to Deb and find out what the
Information is, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we'll get the Facebook, all that other information, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but then
We'll get
this
the
is just
vouchers
email
in
me
front
at
of
work and
image.
so it's just like,
I figure,
you guys do a great job, so.
Why do you think that?
Well, you know what?
because I went and got it.
Yeah, I'm not getting a chair and bringing it back up.
There you go. So that's the
That's
reason
just
why.
not happening.
That's the reason why I got the nice chair. I said, we'll shoot the shit.
Right, and then let's joke about it, the streets for the budget, and again, so forth, but our thing
We're having conversations over there. You forgot all about us. He should have his own talk show.
We wear the mic. Whatever mic.
Ready to go? Ready
Ready
to go?
good?
Let's do it.
Hey, Charlie Harper.
No, Charlie Harper's good.
It's our floor now.
Are you good?
We are.
Talk to?
Hey, I just like to know. I see you got an upgrade on a toupee.
Lucky.
Brought to you in part by.
Sylvester. What is it? What is
Amazing you would
it?
actually admit to that while sitting next to him.
What?
Lucky man?
Yeah. I am lucky.
Yeah?
Everyone that sits next to me is lucky.
Yes.
Next to me. Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
But you keep interrupting us. You keep
We're ready to go.
interrupting
Oh, I'm
us.
sorry, I didn't get approval.
You know what? I'm gonna talk to my agent about this because I don't work under these conditions.
Hey.
Hey, while you're at it, go give me a drink. Go get us both a drink.
Oh wow.
Anything. As long as you're gone.
I'll take a Hennessy and Coke.
I'll take a
That's not
Hennessy
on-
and Coke.
That's not on camera, is it? You know, I do not support.
But I'll take a
the
double
drinking of
Hennessy and
alcohol. Yeah, I'm a single.
Hey, if he's buying, order something expensive.
We just did.
Louis the
Just bring the
13th.
bottle.
Louis the 13th. All right, we're on, Mike.
We are
Oh,
on,
we
sir.
are on. All
We
this
are
time
on.
we are.
We are live.
You see
We're
what's going on?
live.
You see what
Which
happens?
camera we on? That one?
We're on that one, and
Right
that
here.
one. We're on all
Camera three,
cameras.
camera
but
three,
right there,
camera
right,
three.
right there,
Right in front of you.
right there.
Have you noticed that they've been upgrading every week with this?
Yes, I like it. I like it. I mean, you know what it is that we pushed and we pushed. We negotiated, right?
The suits over there, man.
Yeah, the suits.
They've
The
been
suits
doing it.
finally came through. They got us some good lighting because you got to show off the nice bronze. You know, the nice bronze.
I bet you the numbers start going up
Collection.
too. Watch.
Yes, the numbers should go up. We should be about
Make
what?
sure you hit your people up.
6,000, 7,000. Let me go right now. I'm
We'll be
going to
on,
go
we'll be
on
on.
social media right now. And if you're watching, if you're not watching, I go on social media and I see you liking something like whatever that doesn't really make sense. And if you're liking that right now, I'm going to call you out live on the air. So let me see right now what's going on in the social media. I'm literally going on right now. I'm going to my news feed and I'm going to see what people are doing. Oh, hey, Spencer Ash. What was Spencer Ash doing? Oh, Negrito Paul Noel. He beat a traffic ticket today going 49 miles an hour and he got off. And it looks like the officer was kind of upset, but he doesn't look upset.
He looks pretty damn happy.
Negrito Paul Noel is very happy.
Very happy.
Very happy. My niece out in Reading, Pennsylvania, she can so go for a glass of wine right now. Hopefully she goes for a glass of wine and 15 minutes with Tag and...
What is your name?
With Tag and who?
Johnny.
What is this? I'm like, I take a day off and all of them, like the name gets changed and everything.
You weren't supposed to be here.
Wow.
You weren't supposed to be here.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, Mercedes Vasquez Simmons.
Nobody else can
Deseando
Oh, is that Garcia?
éxito a mi pana Danny Garcia, which I will be there on Saturday watching Danny Garcia
supposed to be
live.
there now.
I was supposed to be there now, but you know, I thought to myself and I said, why would I want to be in Puerto Rico right now? Why would I want to be on the beach in 85-degree weather when I can be here next to my brother Tag?
Oh, now your brother.
Doing the show.
Earlier, don't cut me off. Now it's
come on, really think about it. People out there that are watching, all 10,000 of you, think about it. Where else? I could be anywhere else in the world right now, but I'm next to this guy right here.
bullshit.
Yes.
I'm a little allergic to bullshit. I'm sorry, man. I'm just.
Lisette McElligott, my people, glad to be home.
Why are we even looking at your...
But no, the reason why I'm saying this is because right now they should not be updating their Facebook statuses. They should be watching us. That's my point.
Hashtag watch us. Hashtag Julio Tag.
Hashtag now.
Thursday Night Social. Hashtag where the hell are you?
Hashtag Udicci.
Hashtag WDC.
Hashtag Lucky Me.
Hashtag Hashtag hush puppies.
Hashtag that will what? Hold up, let's break out into a rap. Damn. No, we're not ready for that just yet. Maybe next week.
Hashtag next week.
Yeah, hashtag definitely. No, not next week. I won't be here next week.
No, I'll just do it with my new partner in crime.
But welcome.
Hashtag he's not ready.
Welcome to 15 Minutes with your host, moi, and
he doesn't even know his name.
And the sidekick.
What's your name?
Sidekick. The sidekick.
Sidekick.
Everybody had a good sidekick.
Sidekick.
Everybody.
Sidekick.
The Lone Ranger. He had what? Pancho?
It's Tonto.
And I'm not Tonto. Look, he knows who he is.
Yo,
he
I'm
knows
not your
who
damn
he
sidekick. You know what? Nobody will even watch the show if I wasn't on it.
Jimmy Kimmel has the little Mexican guy.
Hold on, bartender says.
It's kind of like your Gilligan.
Your Gilligan.
Why are you drinking?
Iced tea.
Is that can't be yours?
It was mine, but give it to Mike because
if anybody calls you Charlie Harper, let them know I'm there.
Hey, salud. This is sponsored by Arizona Iced Tea
and Lucky Me.
Right there. Salud. But seriously, let's get to the seriousness here. We're running a little late. Last week I was late, so in order to punish us for my lateness and my tardiness, we got pushed back to the end. But it's okay. We're used to that. We're Latino.
You want to tell them the news?
The news. What's the news?
Where we going?
Where we going?
Oh
yeah, we're going. Oh, where we're going. All you boxing fans out there,
listen.
We will be at the event of the year when Miguel Cotto goes for his 4th title in 4 different weight classes. The first Puerto Rican to ever do it, and it will be done June 7th against Argentina, I think Argentina somewhere.
Where?
With its beautiful women at Madison Square Garden on June 7th. So make sure you're there. Maybe we'll live broadcast. You never know.
I'm not holding the camera.
Mercedes, hook it up. Mercedes Vasquez Simmons is part of Cotto Productions. Her team, Pretty Girl Promotions, is actually just signed a deal, a 2-year deal with Cotto Promotions. So hook it up. Hashtag,
hook it up.
Please.
Yo, we just hashtag 1 or 2 minutes, hashtag 1 picture, hashtag thank you.
And we're done. But
we'll be at the fight.
We'll be at the fight, and that's going to be a great fight. We were actually at the Miguel Cotto Mayweather fight, and from the things that we can remember, it's a good thing.
I remember everything. I don't know about you.
Yeah, right. It's a good thing that we have the cameras in these days and age.
I wake up every morning hungover. The first thing I look at is my phone. Like, what
because
happened?
We were able to piece the night together.
That was the only way.
Pictures. Apparently, I jumped into some random stranger's vehicle. Right? I mean, things happened that night where I don't even know what happened, but I want to say it was just because
all I know is you left us and you were down by the ring. You said, I'm going down there, and you were down there.
No, because my boy, Suge Knight, was right there, and I wanted to throw up the W's. I wanted to throw up the W's.
Westside.
It was really East Side, but if you go like this, it's a W, so we're good.
That was a hell of a night. That was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, that was a hell of a fight. We'll be down there June 7th. The next day, there's a little tiny event going on that's attended by about 2 or 3 million people. You might have heard of it. It's called hopefully. The Puerto Rican Day Parade.
You want to talk about that? Why the hopefully is in there?
Right now, it turns out that we have been misappropriating funds. And when I say we, I say the Puerto Rican Parade.
I had nothing to do with that.
Of New York City.
That was
not to be confused by the Puerto Rican Festival of Rochester,
no.
Which that will never happen.
They're very organized.
But the Puerto Rican Day Parade of New York City actually is under scrutiny right now. They're being investigated because some of the funds ended up in the wrong places.
Oh, you get that much money to Puerto Ricans,
I don't know. It probably went to Tío José's.
And
brand new, but La Marquesina looks nice. La Marquesina looks nice, so it is what it is.
But hopefully the event pops off and we'll be there. Cause I'm taking my outfit regardless, hoping that it pop off.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and we'll be there. And Cotto will do his thing. Talking about sports, we were talking about it earlier. A lot of trades going on. Tag just broke my heart. That just broke my heart.
Who does not pay attention to football until the season starts?
He told me
I pay attention to it all season long.
He told me Justin Tuck is no longer a Giant.
Nor is Hakeem Nicks.
That broke my heart.
Hakeem Nicks is gone.
Hakeem Nicks too?
Hakeem Nicks is gone.
Wow.
There's been nothing but major trades in football, major releases, major pickups, major everything.
Wow.
And it's all big names. It's not even small names.
heartbroken
This
right
is going to be the craziest offseason for trading in football in a long time. DeMarcus Ware, when he got dropped, everybody's like, oh, we want him. Everybody, big names. Every name that, I mean, I get the alerts. I'm like, oh my gosh, Darren Sproles now. Everyone.
You know what's the funniest thing though? Is that right now I just got a tweet, and Justin Tuck, Hakeem Nicks, and all those guys are actually saying the same thing about Tag and I, that we should have more viewers. And they're like, oh my God, they don't have enough viewers yet. And it's funny how things work out, right?
How's that?
Because we're talking about them, they're talking about us.
Well,
That's
I mean,
big.
that's our fan base.
That's big. That's big.
our fan base.
That's big. I like
we
that.
always do it big.
But yeah, so football's
doing big. Even
It's
though
doing
it's
big
not
things.
football season, I mean,
Yeah.
that's how big football is, that they keep their name in the headlines even when the season's not in. And this is basketball season.
Yeah. But like I told him earlier, I follow football in August because until then, I'm good.
Are we talking about the Yankees again?
The Yankees are okay. We were winning 6-0 early.
All I know is this: I got to see one Yankee game for Jeter this year. That's it. That's
Over there.
I don't even care if it's Toronto or any. I just want to see one Derek Jeter game. That's it.
I'm gonna put it on record right now. I'm gonna buy some tickets. We're going also to a Yankees
Come on,
game.
I mean Derek Jeter.
So we're there.
I'm mad at myself. I didn't see Mariano last year. So
I got to see him last year.
You haven't seen Jeter?
I'm sorry.
I don't even understand what baseball is, and I've seen him play.
Well, that's why you're Charlie Harper. You play the piano.
At the new stadium, where were you?
Okay, let's focus. Let's
You know,
focus.
we didn't dip into
Let's
your
focus.
show. Why
Let's
are you dipping
focus.
into our show?
Let's focus.
Why don't you sit there and just have a martini?
Let's focus. Let's bring it back. So Syracuse is going to the dance. So March Madness, Syracuse will be there.
I don't follow
Representing.
college like that. But if
Representing.
you want to go back into
Representing.
basketball, who do you pick for the finals?
The finals this year, man, as much as I don't want to say it, it's obvious. I'm following the Knicks. The Knicks are not doing well.
No flash?
So the Knicks are not going. But right now, I can't see anyone stopping Miami. Oklahoma's doing their thing.
Who's this other team? Oh my gosh.
On the West Coast,
Rockets are doing their thing too.
yeah.
Rockets are really doing their thing.
All right. So Rockets
are looking pretty strong.
Brooklyn, which is actually a New York team, is doing a lot better than the Knicks. So shouts out to Brooklyn. My
New York,
birthplace, my
get your
birthplace.
shit together.
Yes,
We're waiting
please.
for a championship.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Please.
Actually, just seen yesterday, they're talking about Kobe potentially coming to New York. Kobe Bryant, because now that Phil Jackson is in New York in the front office. Shouts out to Phil Jackson for coming back to New York. I know you're watching. Shouts
But you
out
know
to
what's crazy is that his wife is Jerry Buss's daughter from the Lakers.
Nice.
You didn't know that?
Who, Phil Jackson's or Kobe
Phil
Bryant?
Jackson. You know what? Step away from this.
Yeah.
No, Phil Jackson's wife. He's married to Jerry Buss, the owner of the Lakers.
Yeah, I know.
His daughter.
Oh, okay, cool. Conflict of interest.
But that's what I thought right away. Conflict of interest like a
I've
mug.
never seen one. But it happens. Chris Schnee, who used to be one of our linemen, was son-in-law to Tom Coughlin, our coach for the New York Giants. He got cut, by the way, so that didn't really matter. It didn't matter. It couldn't help you. If you suck, you're getting
Listen,
cut.
your Giants, as long as you got Cruz Salsa dancing at the end zone, you got
Yeah, we're
seats in
good.
their asses.
Yeah,
You're good.
we're good. So kind of moving along from that, current events. Did any of you happen to notice there was some snow that fell yesterday?
No.
Yeah, a little bit of snow. I think it was, 18 inches?
Let me ask you something. Did you see the big deal of it? I mean, did you see like, oh my gosh, this is bad? Did you notice it?
Yeah.
Living here all your life, pretty much.
No,
Well, you haven't been here all
half
your
my
life.
life, yeah,
half your
my
life.
life, yeah.
You seen some winters here.
No, I know. But
I didn't see the big deal.
But this in March, I think, was a very big thing just because...
I seen the snow in May.
It's at the end, and we're expecting it to start getting nicer. Not only that, but this is the biggest thing. It was 55 degrees.
And that's my whole point. That's
on
Rochester
Tuesday.
for you. That's Rochester for you.
And then Wednesday, 18 inches of snow. Flights were canceled, hence the reason why I'm still here. But it's all good. Yeah, that was kind of, that was a lot. That was a little uncalled for.
I'm sorry. I've
That was
seen
a
it
little
before.
uncalled for. As a matter of fact, last week we talked about it. The guy that was praying...
Yeah, whoever for
the snow.
Whoever you are that was
got
praying for snow,
you got it.
Obviously, you wanted that snow for a special reason, and God believed in your prayers and was like, forget everybody else. But
yeah,
congratulations, you got your wishes come true because that was a lot of snow overnight. And I mean, I didn't see the big deal. I was just happy that they let me go for work at 10:30.
Hashtag jerk. That was the biggest thing though, was the fact that I was driving out of work because we don't ever close. We don't believe in closing down. I'm driving out of work around 5 o'clock and it was a ghost town.
Oh yeah.
Everything was shut
I even put a
down.
picture on Facebook like, where's everybody at?
The mall.
Everybody, everywhere.
Everywhere but Walmart and but
It was
Wegmans.
weird. It was that I admit it was weird
Yeah.
because I'm getting my truck ready and I'm looking around like, what the hell? Where's everybody at? I went to go do a job and they call me back for it. Like, get back over here. Don't even finish it. It's supposed to be bad. But on my way to my job, which is close to my house, I'm like, where the hell is everybody at?
Yeah, that was a ghost town.
Roads were empty and I just didn't see the severity. I just didn't see it. I just seen another winter day in Rochester. And if you've been here that long, it's just another day in Rochester.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And hopefully that's the last day for this
Yeah,
year.
seriously. I hope that was the final goodbye.
Yeah, that was the final goodbye. But one thing I do have to credit, and I got to give a lot of props to, is our crews out on the roads. Because today, you wouldn't even be able to notice that there was a storm yesterday.
What crews?
The roads are clear.
What roads? What roads?
Well, at least in the town of Gates where I pay my taxes, the roads were clear.
I'm sorry. I see people
Completely
stuck everywhere.
clear. No,
I think the city of
nobody's
Rochester did a hell of a whack job plowing the streets because I seen people stuck everywhere.
Well, he said the city of Rochester. I'm advocating for
That's
the
where
town
I
of
live.
Gates. That's where I live. They did a phenomenal
Suburban.
job. So, yes.
Suburbanite.
Suburbanite, yes.
Suburbanite.
Yes.
You can tell how he pops his collar that way.
Yeah. Gotta do it. So
You know you're losing your tan now.
Oh, I'll get it on Saturday. Don't worry about it. I got it. You never had one, so can't talk junk. An encore.
Yeah.
You want encore? Who, Jay-Z song encore?
Well, we gotta kind of throw in our little thing here to the end of the show, and then we'll
Listen,
bring you guys back
the suit
up.
said that it's past our time and we don't get paid overtime. You got to put in a contract negotiation, and I don't see it happening right now. Listen, Alan Harper, step back. Step back, Alan.
We can do that. We're gonna have the producer of everything you see here come on stage, and then we'll come back. Or you guys gonna join us?
What's this come back
How we gonna do
stuff?
this?
What is this?
How are we gonna do this?
No. We're gonna finish our segment.
You're gonna do 15 minutes plus.
15 minutes plus.
The way I look at it, I'm almost done. Talk to my agent. That's why I have one. Where's yours? Alan Harper?
See what happens when Latinos take over TV?
Sorry.
They just don't want to give it up. They're like, I want my 15 minutes.
I got my 15
I
minutes.
still want to hear Tag talk about this little 3-year-old kid.
Oh, the 3-year-old
Oh, the
kid is
3-year-old
hilarious.
kid.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Can you sit back and talk about that?
But Lydia, listen to me.
Wait,
Listen
wait,
to me, Lydia. But look at me, Lydia.
How
Stop.
about if we do the Zach Galifianakis thing after that? We'll all do it together.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, we got it queued up.
I was telling you about it, Tim, right? Between the two ferns, just last week.
Yeah, you were talking
Just
about
last
it. I
week,
haven't even seen it.
Zach
No, I
Galifianakis
seen it.
has his little funny show, and the set's like a 1980s
that's
thing.
for part 2. You can't give it away. You have no idea what.
What's this part 2 then?
We're doing a part 2. We're going to give them the stage for a little bit. It's okay.
I gotta talk to my agent about
okay.
this.
we gotta get one message out before
People, don't fret, don't fear.
How many people right now?
We're coming back.
We don't know.
We're coming back.
The count seems to
We're
be
coming
wrong.
back.
We broke.
There's gotta be
broke
about
the Matrix.
There's got to be about 10,000. We're gonna lose about 7,000,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna
We're
gain
gonna come
10,000
back.
back.
We're gonna come back.
So come on, we're gonna
We're doing 15 plus.
No, I think they should do it with us right here.
this commercial break is being brought to you by Lucky Me, the Life and Times of Lucky Caesar.
What do you mean?
I don't know what store near you.
How lucky are you?
I'm feeling
Read
very
the book.
lucky.
Oh, you put it out.
I'm very lucky.
Gotcha.
Are you guys ready?
So yeah.
Come on, come back on.
We'll
Come
just
back
get
on.
this
Come on
going.
over.
You're welcome to stay.
I am gonna stay actually.
All right. Actually, you're all welcome to stay. You can be a part of this.
I am gonna stay.
You have to do something that's going to be near impossible for you.
What's that? Keep a straight face.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Oh.
Scoot over.
All
Because
right.
we kind of promised that tonight we were going to talk about our audacious goal, which
We have-
the thing behind this audacious thing.
Well, we're only staying now because you need viewers.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. So let's see here. I'm going to have to kind of, let's see. It says right there between two ferns. That's not what we're going to do there. So we're going to, oh wait, that's next. Oh, the audacious goal. So, audacious. So this is kind of a fun
$300
thing.
billion.
300 billion.
I will be your best friend forever. Forever.
That's only a market share.
That's 300 billion says right there. That's just a market share.
That's just a market share.
So you're talking about like $1 trillion.
Can I maybe
no,
you
talk about
when I go through this.
Well, maybe I want to interrupt them. You interrupted our show.
No, I'm okay with that.
I ain't talking about it. Go ahead.
All right, so the audacious goal. Now, it's kind of funny. We actually...
Wait a minute, real quick. It says 7 minutes. You have. I'm gonna tell you right now, my agent is not going for that. 2 minutes. We'll go.
Actually, if you'll see,
That was just 7 minutes for one slide.
Give him 2 minutes so we can
2
get
minutes.
back.
hey,
I like you.
Chuck, take it away.
You did that?
he who controls has. Sorry.
I can't work under these conditions.
It's tough. So it's funny, like years, I guess, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, before we were heading out to California, our gentleman that we work with, Dennis, who's our whole
Can I stare at your hair the whole time though?
Yeah, you can. This is a hairstyle that, yeah, this is gonna get fixed. But nonetheless, Dennis, who is our, I don't know what you want to call him,
Government market.
our government market agent,
Pentagon
whatever,
guy,
and a Pentagon
something like
guy,
that.
dude, who brought us out to California to work with FEMA and those things. Yeah, we're just throwing out names now.
Just
We're
talk,
just
just talk.
name dropping right now. Anyways, he said it was really important to have an audacious goal. For those of you who've been following Udicci for any length of time, you've heard us talking about this thing called the our $2 billion goal. Yeah.
Selfie.
Selfie.
I didn't want to leave you out.
Yeah, well, it's not selfie when there's two,
That is true.
right? It'd be like a Dewey.
Yeah.
That didn't sound right.
Dewey Decimal System.
All right.
Dewey.
So
All right.
200 billion.
Yeah, where's that? Yeah, we talked about we actually have a goal. For those of you who've been around Udicci for any length of time, you've probably heard us talk about this goal that we have to raise $2 billion. Now, tonight you've been hearing us talk about raising $10, $20, $100,000. We actually have a goal to raise $2 billion to help end child sexual slavery. And many people have asked us, okay, well, how does that actually work? And it's really a business plan. When it comes right down to it, Udicci is a for-profit organization with, like I said earlier, we're on a mission to prove that we can repurpose capitalism for the good of humanity over profit, if you will, for the good of people. I guess I'm on that camera over here. So how do we get to $2 billion? As we talked about earlier tonight, Take One is a charitable program where 1% of every dollar of debt that we can consume or take on for credit unions, if you will be given to a charity. As we talked about with Rahema Home, where we're trying to raise $10 million here in Rochester to equal $100,000, we actually just want to roll this program out throughout the United States.
I have a charity.
What's that?
I have a charity. I do. I have a charity. Honestly, I have a charity.
Talk about it afterwards.
You're okay with that?
Okay.
Huh?
But can we put some of that money towards my charity? That's a lot of money, man.
It is.
It's called Feed Tax Kids Charity.
Well, okay. If in some way it helps to end child sexual slavery.
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But I'll tell you what, you can be a part of it all the way up to that point, and maybe we can just figure out how to pay you to feed your kids.
Okay, whatever's left over, right?
Yeah, whatever's left over.
I'll take
All
a-
right, so how do we actually get there? And this is kind of the big thing here. You see, Udicci is actually our primary market. And by the way, this is Plan A. Just for you guys know, there's actually about 3 different plans to get to $2 billion, make that 4, and I'm sorry, 5. But we will not be going through each one of these. And I kind of joke around because why would anybody go into business with one way to hit their goal? Yeah, so that's my thing. Is we actually have 5 ways that each have that you can measure in the same way that we're going to go through this tonight. So when we talk about hitting $2 billion, we actually are very sincere and serious on this. Now let me give you some numbers that a lot of people don't quite understand. We're actually working in the credit union market. Now the credit union market only accounts for about 6.8 of the market, for the financial market share. That is to say between banks, local banks, and major banks, commercial banks, local banks and credit unions, only about 6.8 of the market share belongs to credit unions. That's up from 5.6% in 1997. So we're actually on an upward trend, and we would like to help that grow by 1%. But that's just an additional little goal that we would like to do. To give you some ideas on kind of volume that 6.8% of the financial market means, between 2007 and 2012, credit unions originated $1.5 trillion in loans to consumers and small business. Just let that number sink in for a little bit. I mean, I know we throw around numbers like trillion all day long because it's, it's becoming commonplace. But yeah, $1.5 trillion between 2007 and 2012. So that means that that's roughly $300 billion a year that credit unions originate by helping consumers and small business. Now, our goal is to kind of go after about 80% of the credit union market. What we mean by that? There are some credit unions that are very large, and they're more like banks, if you will. We're targeting about that 80% and down. Those are the ones that are a little bit smaller, like the credit union that we're currently working with, Lexington Federal Credit Union. But we're targeting about 80% of the overall market. And our goal is to capture 10% of that 80%, if you will, 8% of the total market. That's something very doable when you recognize that within the credit union market, there really is not a campaign, a singular campaign to unite them. Yet we're in a time and place where people are sitting here talking about the 99%, let the people pay their fair share, getting away from the banks who we're already seeing are causing some of the part of the financial problems in our country. So we want to focus on those small credit unions, those roughly 80% of those total credit unions. So now let's go back to that $300 billion number that we talked about. 80% of that $300 billion is $240 billion per year. Now we're not going after that full $240 billion, correct?
I'm sorry, okay? I just burnt up bacalao, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's those that big numbers.
You don't know what bacalao is?
No, I don't.
Codfish.
You never actually bring in your food here. It's kind of annoying.
No, that was actually from last week.
You put it on Facebook. Okay, great. All right, so it's actually our goal that we want to, like we said, we want to capture 10% of that plan with Take One. So 10% of that $240 billion is $24 billion. And for those of you who were tuning in earlier, you remember we talked about that 1% of that debt that we capture goes back to charity. So 1% of $24 billion of $24 billion is $240 million. So some quick, simple math tells you that 240 million times 10 years is $2.4 billion. Again, our goal is to raise $2 billion to help end child sexual slavery by helping people reduce the cost of their debt and helping nonprofit credit unions who help our communities.
I have a question.
Good question.
You think you would have been able to do that math if it wasn't right there, written for you?
Ask Tim.
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
No, he's spit this out on the board so many times you have no idea.
He's a math whiz and he also
What's
graduated.
24% of $324,000?
It's $324,000. Let's see.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's like when
He would have started doing the math in his head, forget about it. Exactly. But I'm seeing the numbers right there, and I'm like, okay, I can say this.
I can say why?
Let's make it easier. What if one person out of every 100 was willing to help? In 1996, 5.6 market.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that Bob Barker thing.
Yeah, you're not even reading it right.
For those of you who've never actually done a business plan, this would actually be the representation of your market.
Speaking of market plans, this is a lot of money. You have this written down on paper?
Yeah, I've got it right there.
No. That's a screen. That's one page.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can imagine if this plan is on paper, it would be like this thick.
Oh, I'm sorry. You think that PowerPoint would be that thick?
No, that's just those like
Points.
bullets.
Do you think that's enough to like somebody wants?
But I'm saying your plan is on paper, obviously, right?
No, it's all in my head. What do you think that is? Okay, you're right. There's no paper.
We're a digital world.
Right now,
Well, you know what I meant.
you're making us Latinos
No, what I meant.
a little.
When I meant on paper, I'm like, do you have it all? Never mind. You know what? Never freaking mind. Never mind.
Okay, Chuck, take it away.
Take it away.
All right, so just going back to this because we need to see what's important to know is where the story's going.
You know what though? The numbers are up right now because of me. I'm bouncing off for you.
Yeah,
Anthony Costello. Who's on first?
I don't know.
I don't know. Does not play tonight. I don't know.
Thank you.
He does not play tonight.
Slow.
Okay.
You're a little slow pitch there. You got to always know where the story's going so that way you can lead into it. For instance, when I talk about 5.6% of the market share that's in there and how it grew to 6.8%, what we're talking about is we add another 1%. If you add 1% to 6.8% is what?
If you add, say the question.
If you add 1%
to
6.8%, that is roughly a 15% growth.
I just know it's 7.8. That's just
well, right, but it's roughly 15% over top the 6.8%. So when we talk about that simply means that 15% goal, because we talk about creating 1% more of the market, because if that happened since 1997, and then we grew from 1996 to 2013 by 1.2%, there's no reason to think that over the next 10 years we can't actually accelerate that and continue on, because right now the local banks are actually declining and the credit unions are picking this up. So if we can actually pick up the pace by about roughly 15%, so instead of our 10-year goal, what I'm basically saying
I hope Chase goes bankrupt, by the way. I hope all the regular banks go bankrupt. They screw people over. I hope they all go bankrupt. They screw people over with the percentage rates and interest rates and all that stuff. There's no real return on those banks. On the CDs and all that stuff that you do, there's no real return on it at all. That's why I'm
That's
gonna buy
another
Pop-Tarts.
conversation for another night. But for those of you, we'll have to re-wrap up this audacious goal here because, we had a few little interruptions here. This is going to make our editor go, what? Really? I thought this was supposed to be easy. But for those of you who want to regroup, go back through it, it's a little 10 minutes longer, whatever, it's here tonight.
This will teach you to get this out the way before we come on.
Yes, I know. All right, we're getting out of the way so you can continue on. All right?
That's it, you're done?
Take two.
Wow.
Hey, that was good. I couldn't have said it any better.
Oh, good. Oh, wait.
At all.
Ignore the wrap-up.
The wrap-up. We are the wrap-up. We're the beginning, middle, and the freaking
Oh, actually, we have to wrap up because we have to do another thing later on. So let us know when you're done. We'll come back on.
We're doing 5 minutes and we're out. I mean, you got to pay for this time.
All right.
Take it over.
we're
We're a little too close here.
Yeah, we are a little too close. Yeah,
It's like,
back out.
yeah.
Hashtag. Yeah.
Hashtag we're sorry. Hashtag they'll do that on their own time next time. And hashtag we're back.
But hashtag it's a serious cause.
Hashtag
agree.
absolutely.
So I agree. But I'm getting back to trying to, the 15 minutes. We're gonna stretch out 15 minutes. I think
We were
did our
just
15
robbed
minutes.
a few minutes.
No, I think we did 15 minutes, and now we're gonna do another 5 minutes because that's what we always do. We always take extra.
What else is going on?
Right now, what is going on?
I think we should just
What's
bring
going
a
on?
newspaper with us next time and just read
Yeah,
all
we
the
should
lies
do
that
it.
are written in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of lies written in there.
And that's all it is, propaganda.
Yeah, it is propaganda, but that's the reason why we're doing this show, so that you don't have to read the propaganda and you can get in tune with what's really going on in the community. So right now, we have a lot of things going on. I know, I think I did it last week, but once again, shouts out to Willie Monroe Jr.
Did he win?
Who won his fight. Oh yeah, he won his fight. He won his fight last week. I hate to, always say I'm good, but I am going to be there April 18th. And actually, you're going to be there too, so I don't have to feel that bad. I kind of felt bad because if he wasn't there, then
April 18th, where we going?
April 18th, we're going to Attorney Stone Casino. Fabian.
You're finally inviting me out?
Fabian, no, well, Johnny approved it.
I'm part of the crew?
Johnny approved it. It's still pending.
I am the
final
core
approval.
I am the glue that holds you guys together.
It's fine.
And I never get to come along.
It's pending final approval from Fabian, but Johnny approved it. I approved it. So we're there. If not, Joel will gladly.
Fabian does not
take your
approve?
place.
How many tickets does he have? 3 or 4?
There's 4. It's 4
So
tickets.
who's going? Me, you,
April
Fabi, and
18th,
who?
and Johnny.
That's gonna.
And Johnny.
Bobby's gonna hate us.
Attorney Stone Casino.
Bobby's not. You didn't like it the last time. You're gonna hate it this time.
The semifinals.
I'm really gonna
for-
go. Like I can hang out with you guys.
Yeah, you can hang out
No
with
new
us.
friends. Hashtag no new friends.
Hashtag no new friends. Shout out to Fabian because he reminds me all the time. So hashtag Fabian. Yeah, so we're gonna be there.
Bobby,
That's
can
gonna
I
be a
really go?
great night.
Bobby, please.
Ringside, hanging out, watching local talent do their thing.
I'm with that.
So that's gonna be cool. Other than that, no. I mean, besides the storm, nothing big in the world of Rochester news.
Can I tell you about my son? My son's a trip. I'm gonna have to get my son off this bandwagon thing. By the way, he's a Giants fan.
Oh, I always knew he was the best one in the Nieves clan. Go ahead.
And I'd be trying to get him over to the dark side. He just.
Yeah, no.
So
nobody
today, I was gonna originally wear some Steelers stuff, and I'm like, nah, it's Derek Jeter. So I'm like, this is Mariano jersey. So I'm like, I'm gonna go Yankee it out. And he knows that every Thursday I come to do the show. He goes, you're going to the show dressed like that? I go, yeah, what's wrong? He goes, there goes your ratings. Just like that. He's doing this. He goes, there goes your ratings.
Oh, he's a Mets fan.
No, he's a Yankee fan. He goes, they're doing hard. He goes, I go, you're not a Yankee fan? He goes, they're horrible right now.
Oh, we're in spring training.
No, but he just saying overall they're horrible.
Overall, yeah,
I mean,
we are, but we're in spring training. We're good. We're gonna be okay.
Talking about my ratings are gonna go down.
We're gonna be okay.
Crazy. My little
We're gonna be
12-year-old
okay.
son said that. I'm gonna whip his ass when I get home.
But I'm gonna say this: your 12-year-old is smart enough to be a Giants fan. Shouts out to him.
I'm not done with
because
him.
he's smart. My daughter, and my son are both Giants fans.
Brainwashed.
So we're good. And obviously, you wasn't able to brainwash him. Surprisingly,
I just
you
got
weren't
him. I
able to
got him like
brainwash him.
3 months
So,
ago.
so
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Yeah, it takes
yeah.
time.
But he just
It takes time.
Andito, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. It hurts a little bit. It does.
But yeah, so once again, we're gonna implore you, we're gonna ask you, the audience, to send out your requests, send out your shout outs. Tag's having a moment. It happens. It's okay.
That was over
okay.
until you reminded me.
I just thought about the movie Friday when he's like, "Stop it! I'm sensitive." It's okay.
You know what I think about Friday?
No locked doors.
When I think about Friday,
No locked doors.
I think about Smokey when he smoked that thing. He's like this, and he's running through the street naked on his underwear, right?
Yeah. Bye, Felicia.
You know they're doing on last Friday.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. And
Chris is
everybody's
coming back.
Everybody's coming back. No, everybody.
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 Debo and everybody.
Everybody.
That's the best way to do it.
Pimpin's
Been pimping.
So that's gonna be good. Definitely gonna be good. But we're gonna come back next week. It's a little bit past. I know right now we're cutting into Scandal. I believe Scandal.
It is Thursday.
My homegirl Leah, who's always talking about you gotta watch Scandal. So
Scandal's hot.
I watched one episode.
Chuck.
I would admit to
House
one
of
episode.
Cards, man.
One episode, and that's it.
House of Cards. Forget Scandal. If you like political, like thrillers,
That's it.
I watched the end of. I've been watching season 2 since before last week.
All right.
Dude, the last episode at the last minute when he became, I won't say he became
Yeah, don't talk too
president.
much because I'm gonna see it.
Dude, the way he ended it, the way the season ended was chilling.
right.
Chilling.
I'm gonna check it out.
You gotta watch House of Cards.
I'm gonna check it out.
Gotta watch
I'll
it.
check it out, definitely. But Scandal, I don't think I'll get into. I can't do the
hot.
commercials. I just can't do
Just
it.
record it and fast forward through all that stuff.
So we'll be
On
back.
Netflix.
Yeah, true. We'll be back next
We'll
week.
be back. Oh, Chuck redid his hair.
We'll be back next week.
I did. I redid everything.
15 minutes.
He went from Charlie Harper to John Travolta.
You know what I think we're going to do right now? We're going to put on Between Two Ferns.
Between two
You
ferns.
still didn't talk about your little kid from
Yeah.
your 3-year-old kid there.
It's hard to talk about. It's this little 3-year-old that I showed you the video earlier.
Yeah, it's funny.
Where obviously he's watching his dad do this, where his mom's talking about cupcakes or something. Did you see the video?
Oh, yeah, it's his mom.
It's freaking hilarious. He's like, but Linda, listen to me, Linda, listen to me.
Yeah, does he have it queued up?
No, not
Oh no, okay.
But Between Two Ferns, I happened to catch, to see what's going on. Somehow I bumped into it, and it was a new episode with Barack Obama, and Barack was funny.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's switch to that for a second. We'll let
Well, why don't we say goodbye and end it on that
All
note?
right, we'll do it. We'll
All
switch
right,
to
so-
goodbye and we'll end on that note.
Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. I won't be here next week, so you have to suffer through this guy.
I'll replace him.
He'll be here next week. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. I know it's hard to deal with, but wear Pittsburgh if you want next week. It'll be perfect. Wear it next week. Don't worry the week after.
I don't like you.
What is it like?
I'll be back the
I
following
hope you get a
week
sunburn.
with a tan
I hope
and
you
a
get a sunburn.
sunburn.
I hope you get a sunburn
And
on your nose.
we'll keep it going. So thank you for coming out.
God bless.
Good night.
Actually, I think it's a good idea. You know.
People like